Welcome back, everyone. Today I have a really fun topic to share with you all. Well, I selfishly say that because I love acquisitions, I love sales, and I love psychology. And that's what we're going to be diving into here today. We're going to be talking about why people ghost us and a new process we've recently been using to help bring people who have ghosted us back to engaging and communicating. So first and foremost, let's just talk through why would someone ever not answer the phone when I'm calling them to make them an all-cash offer? Remember, these people are reaching out to us for the most part, especially if you're doing inbound marketing. They're reaching out to us and they want to know what we can offer them. And when we get off the phone and we go to call them back, if they don't engage, why would someone not answer the phone? Well, the reality is, first and foremost, let's break this down to the most fundamental concept here. Your prospects see you as the pushy, selfish, greedy salesperson who's trying to pull one over on them, who's trying to rip them off because they're afraid that you're not going to understand their problem. They're afraid that you won't take no for an answer, or that they may not even get the best deal. They'll get ripped off. As a result, they have to protect themselves. So them not engaging with you, that is a protection mechanism. So now we've got to ask ourselves, knowing that they aren't answering our phone call because they see us as this pushy, selfish, greedy salesperson. Well, how can we set ourselves apart and really detach ourselves from that stigma? Well, there's certain things that you should have in your sales process to start to position yourself as, hey, I'm not this greedy salesperson. I'm not the used car salesman down the street or whoever you bought your most recent car from. A helpsman, not a salesman. And, there's things in our sales process, things like giving them permission to say no. The car salesman doesn't say, if you don't buy a car from me today, that's totally cool, right? Instead, they're trying to get you into the car today. Hey, why don't you test drive it? Why don't you take it home? Why don't you go show your family and then come back and then we'll talk about it. And when they push for that outcome, it typically pushes them towards, hey, no, I'm not interested. I don't want to deal with you. And that's where the disengagement comes from. But they don't see us as the investor, as the cash buyer, any different. Even though we're buying and we're not selling, we're still positioned as offering a service, and that's why they see us that way. Typically, when they don't answer that phone call, it all boils down to that they had some sort of question. They had some sort of concern that they just didn't feel comfortable enough asking you. They didn't feel comfortable because they don't trust you. So if you don't do those leading things that lead up to that next phone call and them answering it, if we don't give them permission to say no, if we don't set expectations, these are things we have in our sales process. If we don't create that rapport, talking about their situation and deeply diving in to understand exactly what's going on to present a clear solution that's customized to everything that they're dealing with, that's where we've got this disconnect. It would be amazing if we were just 100% on point at all times in our sales conversations, but the reality of that happening is very slim. That's the importance behind the onboarding process, getting someone up to speed. That's the importance around the daily training, because it is human nature to fall off the process. That's why we have the call audits where we go back and we watch the film and we hold our team accountable and continuously coach them up on the process. But there will be times where you miss a checkbox in our check the box process. So when that happens, we've got to have the right tools to re-engage that seller. And we've been using a variety of text messages to get these sellers back engaged with us. But what we started to do here recently that we're seeing some really good success with is a combination of them. So this is what we're doing. The first time we reach out to someone and they ghost us, the first text message that we send them sounds something like this. Hey, Mr. Seller, this is Josh with Heels Homes. I would love to speak with you about our offer for your property, but I haven't heard back from you. I'm guessing you either decided not to sell or you already sold it and didn't have the heart to tell me. Or I really messed this up somewhere. I'm worried I messed this up somewhere. The reason why we send that text message is because we want to strike a chord with the empathetic bone that we all as human beings have. If you think about this, if you ever see a commercial about a third world country or like adopt a dog or, an animal shelter who's needing donations, whenever they show those types of images, we feel a certain way and we feel called to act. That's the empathetic bone that I'm talking about here. And we're trying to strike that because we're saying, hey, I'm really worried that I messed this up. It's not so much that they sold or that they changed their mind. We're really honing in on that empathetic piece. Now, the timeline here is day one, we have a scheduled time to call them. That's the first step. We've got to have a scheduled time to call them, right? And ideally, you have a second backup. So if I'm talking to a seller and I'm saying, okay, great, it's 5:20 right now, I'll give you a call at 5:30. Hey, just in case, Mr. Seller, if I can't get a hold of you, what's a good time to call you back if for some reason I miss you at 5:30? Oh, 6 o'clock. So I've got a first choice, I've got a second choice. They don't answer those 2 times. I'll try a third time on that same day. If you're not able to contact them on those first 3 attempts that day you were supposed to connect with them, on the following day, it could be morning, it could be midday, it could be afternoon, we're going to send that text that I just read. Hey, Mr. Seller, this is Josh with Heels Homes. I'd love to speak with you about our offer, right? And I'm sorry I messed this up somewhere. I just paraphrased that. We hit them with that, and then we let it marinate for 24 hours. Okay, now after 24 hours later, we're going to hit them with this text message. Hey, Mr. Seller, this is Josh. All business aside, ... I haven't heard back from you. Is everything okay? So now we're shelving business and we're talking to them as a person, making sure that everything is okay, that nothing came up. And this is typically either the first text, but really heavily here recently, have we been able to get someone to respond after that second text message. Now, what we do after that, and this is kind of a hack. When you have these tools in your tool belt, it helps increase the chances of us re-engaging these types of sellers. We have 2 different strategies that we can leverage depending upon the outcome of our conversations or attempted conversations. We have the tool of using our sales manager to call and manager follow-up. So we'll lead with a call. Hopefully they answer. If they do, we have an entire script that we run them through to try to re-engage. We ask them things like, hey, this is Connor on our team. Connor's our acquisition specialist. I know you were working with Connor on our team, and, I thought I'd reach out to see how everything went. Did Connor treat you fair? Right? So again, taking that empathetic approach, did he treat you fair? Not how did things go, right? Now what we're going to do after the empathetic lead, typically they're like, oh yeah, Connor did fine. He treated me well. Now we're going to ask, okay, well, where did things leave off? And now this is no different than our motivation conversation. Now the sales manager is diving in to their concerns, their questions. This is where we pull a lot of objections out that they're just not comfortable enough to share with the acquisition rep or who's perceived to be the salesperson. Let's say they don't answer the phone call though, right? The manager calls, they don't answer. Now they send a text message with the same type of message. Hey, Mr. Seller, this is Sage with Heels Homes. I know you were working with Connor on our team. I'm his manager. Thought I'd reach out to make sure he treated you fair. Did he treat you fair? And then when they respond to that, now we follow up with a text message of where did things leave off? And again, this is our goal is to pull out those objections and concerns and then work to solve them. Now, the other tool we have is that we can call as a new investor. We'll have one of our other acquisition specialists call from High Top Properties, who is our other company who's also owned by Heels Homes. And this gives us a second at bat if Connor or whoever happened to botch the opportunity. They messed up. They messed up somewhere. We tried the manager follow-up. We tried the ghost text. Couldn't get them back on the phone. So now we're going to call as a new company and try to see if that will work. These are the strategies that we've been using, and it's really, really, really been helpful. So if you're experiencing people or sellers, if you're experiencing sellers who are disengaging with you, who are ghosting you, these are some strategies that I would highly recommend that you use that are working well for us.